Alright, let me tell you about the very first time I got a hate comment. So this was on my personal YouTube channel and many years ago, but what this person wrote was, if I ever meet you in real life, I will stab you until you're dead. So super positive, and YouTube comment sections have only gotten better from there. The reason why I'm making this video is because of a tweet I came across from Andrew Huang a few days ago, which detailed the difference between constructive criticism and just outright trolling. You like my hand gestures? Here is the useless negativity that he saw on one of his videos. Great mix as usual, but please, for the love of God, stop singing and writing lyrics. They make me want to kick a puppy, and I love puppies. Versus this comment, which is much more constructive. I love Andrew and think he's exceptionally talented and inspirational, but I can't help but think that his lyrics bring his songs down a little. I watch nearly all his videos, but I wouldn't buy an album or stream on Spotify. I often wonder why that could be, and I think it might be the lyrics. You see this a lot online, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, where people leave aggressively critical comments. And it's not necessarily that the message is wrong, it's the way that it's communicated that can come off as feeling aggressive, trollish, or just plain mean. I'm also going to see if I can maybe rephrase some of them myself. I thought it would be fun if we just started with my own channel. This was my personal channel that I abandoned here not too long ago, and the sting of that defeat still haunts me to this day. In one of those videos, I talked about the film Call Me By Your Name, and this was a comment that was actually thumbs up by at least one person. Says, your hand gesture is so distracting. I don't know how they could possibly think that. Now I'm so self-conscious of making any motions with my hands. So again, I come back to this idea that the message behind the comment is not negative. They were watching a video and someone's hand gestures distracted them from the message. So that can be communicated more effectively. The issue is that you're only bringing up something that's negative. These are comments again that are seen on quite a few different creators where your hand gestures are distracting, your voice is annoying, you're boring. All this stuff may be true for you, but this is how you can actually communicate that and see if there can be a dialogue that has begun. The biggest thing when you have a criticism like this is to really identify where it is happening in. So identifying at least one place. So like at the minute and 15-second mark, the way that you're using your hands is overblown. And what's going on is it's distracting me from the greater message that your video is trying to give to me. That criticism now is something that I, as a creator, can actually use to grow and become better. I still might disregard it, but at least I know exactly where it is that you saw it, exactly what it is that disturbed you, and exactly what I can do to make it better. Now on the video that I'm talking about here, there is no positive comments about my hand gestures because literally all of it is about how good and smart I am. So literally just scroll through that entire video and just see people heap praise upon me and the movie that I was talking about. Alright, next up, the Vlog Brothers. I decided to go to a video that I was fairly certain was going to get some sort of negativity written on it, which is the recent interview that John Green had with Michelle Obama. However, that video, I think kind of weirdly did not breach into like the viral video for that channel. So it's basically just a lot of their fans that are commenting on it. However, I did see some examples. So here's the negative comment. Yo, what is with that janky handheld camera? So distracting. Use a tripod or at least a steady cam. Alright, so there it is. Someone very disappointed that the camera is a bit too shaky. Now here's where I'm coming from. I watched this video, the content is really good, and I actually sort of agree with this guy. Like, the shakiness is very apparent. Even though they're in a studio, they're surrounded by really good cameras, the cameras actually do shift up and down weirdly at different points. I think they were trying to go for this kind of like, to use a very pretentious word, a cinema verite style, which is like kind of what Matt's shaking his head.
You use that word too much.
What do you mean you use it too much?
But I don't even know what cinema verite is.
It's a French word meaning like fly on the wall. Yeah.
I would have said like documentary.
Yeah, documentary style. Sorry, I went to school and they always use that word all the time in my film classes. In a way, I do actually agree with this guy. I mean, I watched the video, the content is really good, but at these weird times, the camera does like shift over to the left or up and down, and it is a bit distracting, especially because this is a sit-down interview in a studio. This is not like a run-and-gun film where someone's like chasing after somebody with a film camera. This isn't like Yes Theory, where Is it David Dobrik?
Yeah.
David Dobrik. I am young and hip and know the people that are on YouTube. It's not in that style of your like mainstream vloggers, right? So I don't know really why the camera is doing that. However, again, I think it could have been phrased a little bit better. If this were me and I was gonna actually give this type of criticism, I would start with being, this content is really, really good and the camera movements do distract from the message that is being portrayed. It would have been nice had it been placed on a tripod so that the full message could have been enjoyed without the shakiness that the camera was providing. So an example of a positive comment comes from this person. The camera placement is odd. The extreme close-ups lose intimacy when we can't see their pupils or the fronts of their faces. Nevertheless, I enjoyed their honesty on relationships in general and how she emphasized that no relationship is a clean share. It's an ongoing project to better something for both parties involved. Thanks, John. So again, communicating very similar thoughts, just giving the message in two completely different ways. All right, our last show we're gonna look at, and this is not gonna be controversial at all, is Shane Dawson and his documentary on Logan Paul.
Great. It's on Jake Paul.
Can't tell the difference between the two. Listen, I know I'm wading out into a minefield, which I know is a complete mixed metaphor, but I think this is going to be very instructive. Here's a negative comment first. The only place these brothers should be is in prison or a mental institution. The law is for those who harm themselves and others. Punish them and make them pay. Also, it doesn't matter if he's a character or not, he's an idiot. Listen, here's the thing. I am not in the demographic for the people who like either Logan or Jake Paul. So, I understand the criticism that is leveled at them. For me, they do seem to be a tad obnoxious and I don't know. It's those types of type A personalities that kind of drive me, who's like a supreme introvert, just a little bit, weirded out. But maybe that's more on me than it is on anyone else. If I was this huge Shane Dawson fan, like I'm a big fan of his conspiracy videos and his fun vlogs and the friends that he gets to hang out with, I would be somewhat annoyed at someone who was coming in who was labeled as a nuisance and someone who's trying to take down YouTube and all these things that get leveled at Jake Paul and his brother, Logan Paul, who apparently are two different people. So the way I would probably voice this concern would be to start with that fact that, hey, I really respect the videos that you make, Shane, but this person who you're bringing on to here doesn't need any more celebration. They don't need anyone else to like shout from the rooftops and promote them. They do a really good job of doing that already. And at the same time, using like a mental illness to kind of sell these videos can somewhat feel a little bit dirty. That's how I would phrase it, at least. Here is the more constructive criticism. I really like you, Shane, but I want to say that this documentation makes me a bit sad. I don't want to say that the actions from Jake were okay, but making a dramatic scene with all the scary music and scared behavior against Paul also make people scared of mental conditions. It isn't always the best way to inform people that way. Of course, these people with a sociopath condition have problems, but not everyone with this condition is coming from hell or the evil itself. You sadly make it into a drama scene to be scared of these specific people. They are evil or could get evil every second. That's not true. They are still humans, but in this video, it looks that they are not humans, more like monsters that live among us. I think this is such a beautifully written comment. I think it gets to the heart of it. And I think that a lot of the time when we see this huge amount of criticism and this huge amount of hate that proliferates in all of these social media channels, it's because of that very reason, that we have stopped thinking about people as human beings instead of looking at them as simply as others. That's what I think I've learned here, at least. The different videos that we watched and the two different types of comments that we were looking at. But here's what I would love to see you do. So let's take this video of Matt dancing as an example.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my right-time gal.
I'm gonna leave a little hate comment on this saying that Matt's dancing is awful. Let's see if you can take that comment and make it a little bit more positive down in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video. If you can, try to make someone smile today. I'll see you next time.
I feel like they're off stage by that point.
My name is Kyle.